Hey guys, this is more commentary of 3v3 play, again with the same group as before. Affliction Warlock, I'm the Elemental Shaman, and we have a Holy Paladin. Let me know in the comments below what you think of these videos, if you'd like me to try out some other comps. If there's something that I'm missing here, let me know below, and I'll make sure to update it in my next video. And here we go. So in this match, it's Ellie, Ret, Disc. I'm using the same PvP talents I've been using, same PvE. I'm using Earth Grab for positioning, even though there's a ret. I'm not really sure why I did that. I probably should have taken the stun totem, especially because it's a disc, and I feel like there's pretty high kill potential on a disc these days. So this time I get a little aggressive and I jump over to their pillar side. I start throwing out flame shocks, getting that maelstrom to build up. Priest starts running over and I get a little scared. I realize I'm not in the right spot, so I run back to our pillar, nervous that he was going to run in for the fear. I see the priest running into the fray, which makes me feel like he's going to be coming for the fear. We're doing a lot of damage to this ret. I'm trying to keep line of sight of the Ellie. We're getting him down a lot. I use my be proud of me, Raphael and John. I used almost all of my Ice Fury stacks and my Stormkeeper together to do a lot of pressure. I got CC'd there though. So here I'm still trying to put on pressure onto the Ellie and the ret. Knocking him away. I'm still trying to help my lockout by doing some damage to the ret. Keeping the priest dotted up and doing some damage. I get a hex off on the Ellie right before he's able to get his big damage out with Ice Fury. We see the priest here pretty low health. He's keeping his buddies up, but he's gotten himself in a pretty rough spot. I get him with the Earth Fury stun. I have Sky Fury down, my Flame Elemental out, and then I start to go in with the Ice Fury. Ice Fury then leads to a pretty big 350k crit, and that takes him out. So this match, it's Arms, Windwalker, Mistweaver. I choose Earth Grab Totem, and I also choose Counter Strike, because all of this damage is direct damage. I'm expecting the reflection to be pretty useful, and we'll see how that works out. So the match starts and we start to go behind the pillar. If possible, to get a Demon Gate out. I want to start to put out Flame Shocks. I don't get any. The Windwalker starts to come behind. Their healer is cleansing off Flame Shock. That usually makes me a little worried because that means he's kind of intelligent. I'm going to try throughout this match to peel for my healer and for my lock because there's a lot of damage, so I'll be hexing a DPS where I can. I'm starting to focus the warrior for now in terms of damage. I don't see his defensive stance up, so I'm trying to get that out. I also start to put a little bit of pressure on their Mistweaver, but not too much. My Stormkeeper is then used. I have the Ice Fury stacks up. I'm using Chain Lightning with those stacks of Stormkeeper. And the warrior's starting to dip a little bit, so I'm starting to focus on him. I see the healers coming to help. I try to get that hex off. I get it. And he's just eating it. The warrior dips pretty low here. I have my Ice Fury Frost Shock stacks. As soon as the cocoon comes out, I switch over to the healer to try to apply some pressure. If you've noticed, I haven't really used that Counter Strike that effectively. Here there's a lot of damage on my healer, so I'm just side healing him and trying to get damage out where I can. The Windwalker's doing a lot of damage, and I just start to try to CC him and lock him down. For some reason, the team started to group up here. I thought this would be a good chance to get some Chain Lightnings in. That'll give me a ton of Maelstrom, and if Lightning Rod starts to proc, it'll do a lot of damage. So I'm trying to get positioned here. They're hiding behind the corner, trying to probably reset the fight, wait for cooldowns, but I don't think we're going to let them do that. We get a great fear in there, and I start to apply some more pressure to the Windwalker. Or to the Mistweaver, sorry. I root the DPS out there in the open, and I'm trying to do some big damage to the healer. I get him stunned. I have Ice Furies up, and I have instant cast, so I'm trying to just finish him off here. But it doesn't happen. I then switch to the warrior to just start to continually apply pressure, because if we can just make them get behind in heals, that just starts to snowball for this comp. So I'm doing a lot of damage to the Windwalker. The warrior's out in the open. The melee are just dashing around. We're not really sure what their strategy is here. Touch of Karma was on the Windwalker, so we didn't use any damage there. And here I'm just peeling for my healer as we try to finish one of the targets off. The warrior gets really low. The fear on their healer gets him out way, 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 way far. and even the warrior charges away from that, and that's where we finish him off. So this comp is DK Ret Resto Druid. This time around I take the Stun Totem, I take Sky Fury. And so here I told my team, hey guys, get close to the edge, I'll knock them off. And then they just fall off. So it wasn't very useful to my team. We start to apply some damage. We know they're going to go real big on our healer. Anytime they go on my healer, anytime he CC'd, I'm now going to try to just keep him up through heals. My Thunderstorm knocks the red off, which is fine. He has 3 UAs on him. He's doing a lot of damage. I Gust of Wind up like a badass while I have low health. I don't even pop Astral Shift. There's no need. I felt pretty confident that I could go up there. I didn't get gripped by the DK, thank goodness. So here I have all my DPS cooldowns still up. I haven't really popped anything yet. We're just applying pressure to the DK. He's going over towards the ret. I pop Stormkeeper. I start to Chain Lightning. I pop my Sky Fury. I'm starting to apply some more pressure here. My Fire Elemental's out. I'm focusing the ret here for big damage. I saw him use his Absorption Shield. I know he doesn't have a whole lot left. He then bubbles, so now we switch our pressure. I'd rather focus a Resto Druid than a DK, but here there are healers hiding behind the corner and kind of grouping them up together. Frost of Sintragrosa comes out, getting our healer pretty low. My DPS cooldowns are pretty much all on cooldown. I pop Earthquake, which I'll use sometimes in corner situations. It is a lot of Maelstrom, but sometimes it's useful. So here I'm just continually trying to apply pressure, even though this is probably the worst positioning we could do for our comp. We really should be out in the open or near the edge so I can push them off. So here I'm just starting to do Chain Lightning spam. I'm using Ice Fury to get some big damage out on that ret. Knowing that he doesn't have a bubble, he should be our kill target. I'm able to then spam some Chain Lightnings out. They're getting nervous, I can tell. They're starting to line of sight us behind the pillar. I try to get in there to knock them out, but it's not very effective. Again, we just start to stand out in the open and force them to come to us. The ret's now putting pressure on, and the DK are putting pressure on my lock, who is doing a great job of keeping himself up. The druid's out in the open, who I stun into a hex, which usually doesn't happen, but it did this time. He doesn't have a trinket, so he eats the whole thing. Here they're grouping up again behind the box, trying to get back there to heal up, but we don't want to let this happen. I put down the stun totem, which does a great job of stunning all the targets. I put Earthquake down, and now I try to finish them off with my Ice Fury and my instant cast Lava Burst. This game we're against Assassination Rogue, Frost Death Knight, Mistweaver. I choose to use Sky Fury this time around. I'm just loving how it synergizes with the damage, so I'm just going to stick with that. And then I do select the stun totem to use in this comp as well. Because they're all melee, they'll be bunched up. I'll hopefully be able to stun both of the targets and peel if I need to for my DPS or even my healer. So the match starts, and we know it's going to be pretty aggressive. I try to get in there to get in combat really quickly. I don't really get in combat that quickly, but I don't get sapped either. So here I'm trying to again apply pressure to one of the DPS to allow for peeling to happen. I hex the DK right off the bat, and he pops his trinket. A little surprising that he pops that so early. I then just try to start to apply some pressure. My Holy Paladin is taking a lot of damage. I try to off heal here while he's off in the corner. My lock is trying to apply pressure, and I get a good stun off on both the targets, trying to keep them slowed and stunned using Earth Fury stun. Now I'm just trying to apply as much pressure as I can, because the more they can focus on staying alive, the less they can focus on killing my healer. So here I'm just spamming those Frost Shocks, trying to get that damage out, trying to apply as much pressure to this Frost DK as I can. He doesn't have a trinket. So here I try to slow the team down. They're hunting my Holy Paladin in a huge circle. It's pretty funny. I'm basically just damaging them from the center as they run around continuously. So here we're damaging the rogue. I'm trying to off heal the healer where I can when he is calling out for it. He does bubble here, which is not the best because that means they know they can do it again. Here they're switching to me to do a little bit of damage, but I'm continually just focusing on the Death Knight to apply as much pressure as I can. So here I actually make a pretty big mistake by wasting my Frost Shocks I could have been applying to the DK or the Mistweaver. I'm trying to keep the healer and the DK stunned.
I'm out of range.
and now I'm just trying to keep pressure out on the DPS. The DK popped AMS, which now we know is on cooldown, so he's going to be a big kill target for us now. He's continually still chasing my healer around the entire map, which is kind of hilarious. I CC the healer here, and now we call out for pretty big pressure. So here we can see that the DK and the rogues try to line of sight me because they can see the pressure's coming out. I interrupt and stun the healer, and that pretty much makes it GG once the rot has gotten to that point in the game.